Okay, let's roll on. Now, I come out guns a-blazing on this show, and it's going to end. It's going to end after this game. All my action. So now it'll be 7 bets. And I can't wait to talk about the Falcons spot because it really took a lot of self-control not to bet that. But look, I've doubled up here on the Detroit Lions. I've doubled up on them. First half and full game. And look, I disliked everything that I saw from the Detroit Lions. And I also think that the Bears are a decent football team. They're not a trash football team. I moved on the Lions. The New Orleans Saints are at that point where they're starting to question everything. They're questioning decision-making. They're at the point where the coaches are fighting each other. I think that it's possible that things self-destruct here in New Orleans. And, okay, well, let me just go a little deeper here before I need to sit here and just wax on it. But I moved first half and full game, and it was kind of costly. I could have got minus 122 if I put in a Pinnacle, but I just sent it in at minus 125. So that's the minus first half minus 2.5 at minus 125. What the hell is it there? And then I got the full game minus 4 at minus 110. Let's go over the line history here for this one. From a side perspective here, Detroit still minus 4, minus 109 here. They opened up minus 3.5, and that 3.5 when it opened, it was almost a plus money. It was minus 101 for the Lions. Now it's minus 4. Honestly, how I feel right now is, look, my bankroll is what it is. My cash is what it is, but the show for me is sort of on the line this week. I've had 2 straight losing weeks. My ROI is minus 5%. If I don't step up, then who's going to want to hear any of my edges or angles or what I think of a situation? So there's a lot on the line, and I'm going to go. If I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down fucking firing. And I think the Lions bounce back, and I think Campbell is very upset with some of his decision making. At least he's been blaming himself for what happened. This total is at 46. Opened up at 45, went up to 46, and I almost moved on the total. I came very close to moving on the total. In fact, that was my plan. When I came into this cap, my plan was to bet the over. That was my plan, and I was like, and then by the end of it, I flipped just to the Lions side. The Lions come in off an ugly 29-22 Thanksgiving Day loss at home to the Packers. Goff 29-44, 332 yards, 2 touchdowns. But old toddler hands, lost 3 fumbles, and it devastated everything. In the Detroit's previous game, Goff threw 3 picks. So Goff has 6 turnovers on his own here in the last 2 games. They outgained the Packers 464 to 377. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 9 catches for 95 yards. Khalif had 5 for 90. Montgomery ran 15 times for 71 yards and a touchdown. They were 7 of 15 on third down. They're 11th in the league on third down, converting 42.8% of opportunities. And they continue to climb in that statistic. They're getting better and better there. They were 3 of 4 in the red zone. They're 14th in the league, scoring touchdowns on 55.3% of red zone drives. And over the last 3 games, they're 3rd in the league in the red zone. They're converting 72.7% of red zone drives over the last 3 games. The fumbleitis and all the issues for Goff has not been happening in the red zone. Now, it's been happening on 4th down, though. The Lions went for it 5 times on 4th down and converted once. And that was in the meaningless spot late. One of the failed attempts was that fake punt. And to me, that's, I don't care about analytics as much at sometimes as I care about momentum. And the Lions had the momentum. They were down 9 points. They were stuck on their 1. They got out to the 23, and they were going to be able to kick it deep and have all the momentum. Defense runs on the field, pumped up. We get the ball back. We get field position. We make this a 1-score game. That was all on Campbell. Campbell messed that up. That was an asshole decision by Campbell, and he knows it. And, he's called himself out for it. But the Lions' pass rush was nowhere to be found. 0 sacks, 4 quarterback hits. Now they have 2 sacks over their last 3 games. So I imagine Campbell's going to be all over them for that. The Packers went 5 for 11 on third down. Lions are 11th in third down defense, allowing opponents to convert 36.2% of their opportunities. The Packers went 3 of 4 in the red zone. The Lions defense has struggled all year in the red zone. They're 30th in the league in the red zone. 30th in the league. They're allowing touchdowns 68.6% of the time. And over the last 3 games, the Lions are tied with the Bills for the worst red zone defense in the league. So here with the Lions, and this is why I was going to the over first, you have a red zone offense that's playing very, very well, and a red zone defense that's tied for worst in the league. Obviously, that would lead us to want to bet an over. Saints coming off an ugly 24-15 loss to the Falcons, 444 total yards, but they went 0 for 5 in the red zone. They're 29th in the league in the red zone. You can't trust them to put up points. Derek Carr, 24-38 for 304 yards. Olave caught 7 passes for 114 yards, but he's in concussion protocol. So what if Olave is not out there? Because we know Michael Thomas isn't out there. Then Rashid Shaheed left with a quad injury. He's listed as day-to-day. So what? You're going to go into this game without your 3 top receivers possibly? Now, maybe Shaheed does play, but quad's tricky. Maybe Olave gets out of concussion protocol. Maybe. Saints were 6 of 14 on third down. They're 21st in the league, converting 37% of third downs. The defense is incapable of applying any pressure. The Cameron Jordan no-show continues, game in and game out. And then he left the game with a shin injury. He's listed as questionable. They finished with no sacks and 1 quarterback hit. They're tied for second last in the NFL, averaging 1.6 sacks per game. They were 4 of 8 on third down. The Falcons, 4 of 8 third down. The Saints defense, 8th in the league, allowing opponents to convert 35.6% of red zone opportunities. And they're 19th in the league in red zone defense. Marshawn Lattimore, of course, on IR. But when it came down to it, can I trust the Saints to do anything here? No, I don't know if I can. So if I know, why don't I just hammer the Lions, who have to bounce back after getting publicly embarrassed, losing on Thanksgiving for the 7th straight time? So that's my move. I moved on the Lions, but I do kind of like the over. And maybe if Olave and Shaheed clear concussion protocol, I'll move on it. Maybe. What do you think here, Troy?
Yeah, again, we're aligning in this spot as well. My faith in the Lions is kind of dwindling to a certain extent because they're so bad in coverage, and I can visibly see that they're bad in coverage. They're not sharp, man. They're not fundamentally sound defensively, but at the same time, let me touch on the Lions. One more thing about the Lions that pissed me off is their offensive line. It's 2 weeks in a row this offensive line has underperformed, and it's against the Bears and Packers. So I guess in division, it's a little bit more understandable, the familiarity factor. And Goff has definitely been struggling because of it and is under pressure, just like most quarterbacks. Numbers fall off. And when he's so good with a clean pocket, then it's a steeper fall, which makes it more apparent to me. But his pass grade falls off a cliff, 4 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. That's the thing is like you said, the Saints defense is incapable of applying pressure. And this defense is overrated. The numbers show that they've been better at home, but this strength of schedule that they've played is pitiful. They've allowed 24 points to Atlanta, 27 to Minnesota, 17 to Chicago, and 27 to the Colts. All those offenses are not even close to the capabilities of this Lions offense. And the biggest thing to me, just like you hammered home, the red zone offense is not there for Derek Carr. I don't even want to say the Saints because Derek Carr has proven throughout his career he cannot get it done in the red zone. It remains to be seen him being any type of efficient or the quarterback that he should be in the red zone. He's way below average, this guy. And like you said, they're going to be missing some of their pieces. It's just a good spot for the Lions to get back on track. Lions are going to put up 7. Saints are going to put up 3s. And you don't have to be a math genius to understand what the outcome of that game is going to be. Saints are 0-4 ATS at home. And I used to think earlier in the season, I'm like, oh, they're due for a cover. They're due. No, I don't believe that shit anymore. I've seen that go up in the flames too many times. Home teams that open at 3.5 at Pinnacle are 2-9 ATS, 2-10 straight up. Never has a spread opened at 3.5 and moved towards the road team. So this is the first example of that. If this closes anywhere above 3.5, so that's just we're in uncharted waters from that standpoint, but only be a favorable thing. Lions. I got a money line parlay with the Cowboys, and I'm interested in more.
Yeah, no, I like the move that was made here. I went in expecting to bet the over. I left on the Lions first half and full game. Troy's using it in a money line parlay. I like it. Let's move on.